to my channel. Okay guys, in today's video I'll briefly talk about the various cells involved in acute inflammation. But before I start, I would like to refresh our memory on what the structure of a typical animal cell looks like. So this is an animal cell. This is the cell membrane, and this is the cytoplasm of the cell, which is a gel-like substance that houses the cell organelles. And the next is the nucleus of the cell. Okay, so that's just it, the main parts of the cell that I want to refresh our memory on before I go over to the various cells that are involved in acute inflammation. Don't forget that acute inflammation is of short duration, only lasting for few minutes, few hours, days, or even weeks. It does not last for a longer period of time. Okay, the cells involved in acute inflammation are primarily leukocytes. Leukocytes are also known as white blood cells, which are found circulating in the bloodstream. However, upon activation by inflammatory mediators, these cells can migrate from the bloodstream to the site of inflammation, where they carry out their functions. So guys, I have a video on the vascular and cellular changes of inflammation. The link to the videos will be in my description box. Okay, now let's look at the cells one after the other. The first cell I have here is the neutrophils. Neutrophils are also known as polymorphonuclear leukocytes. So these neutrophils are highly chemotactic and are usually the first to arrive at the site of inflammation. They're the first line of cellular defense. And neutrophils are the characteristic feature of acute inflammation and are the main component of the purulent exudate. Purulent means pus. Like in pus, the main things you find in pus is neutrophils. So in domestic fowl, that is the chicken, the equivalent of neutrophils are called enterophil. Okay, so let's take a look at the structure of neutrophil, the structure of the cell. The nucleus of the neutrophil is multi-lobed. This means that it has multiple lobes or segments. Then the cytoplasm contains granules, which are of two types. The first is the smaller specific or secondary granules, which contains lysozyme, collagenase, gelatinase, lactoferrin, plasminogen activator, histaminase, and alkaline phosphatase. The next type of granule is the large azurophilic or primary granules, containing myeloperoxidase, bactericidal factors, that's the lysozyme, defensins, acid hydrolysis, and a variety of neutral proteases. So these granules are of two types. The granules found in neutrophils are of two types: smaller specific or secondary granules, and the large azurophilic or primary granules. And these granules release their contents through a process known as degranulation. The main function of neutrophils is phagocytosis. This is the main function of neutrophils, phagocytosis. They also have other functions, like they also liberate proteolytic enzymes that are helpful in the digestion and liquefaction of dead material, paving way for regeneration and repair. Okay guys, so the second blood cell I'll be talking about is the eosinophils. The eosinophils, unlike the neutrophils, they have bilobed nucleus. That means their nucleus only have two lobes or two segments. And then their cytoplasm contain eosinophilic granules This means that when the granules are stained with eosine dye, they appear reddish under the microscope. And these granules contains proteins and enzymes. So eosinophils are mainly seen in cases of inflammation that are associated with parasitic infestations or allergy. And the main function of eosinophils is that they play a role in immune response, particularly allergic reactions and fighting parasitic infections. Okay, guys, so the third um, blood cell that I'll be talking about is the basophils and mast cells. Their nucleus, the basophils and mast cells, their nucleus is usually bilobed, just like the eosinophils. Remember that the neutrophils have multi-lobed nucleus. That means that the nucleus have multiple segments or lobes, whereas eosinophils have bilobed. Basophils and mast cells also have bilobed nucleus. So the cytoplasm contain large granules which obscure the cell nucleus. So the granules of the basophils are large, that kind of obscure the nucleus. Like you won't see the nucleus so well because the granules are like covering it. Okay, so basophils are similar to mast cells, except that the mast cells are widely distributed in tissues throughout the body, while the basophils are present in the blood. So that's just the difference between the basophils and the mast cells. Aside that, the basophils and the mast cells are similar. The only difference is that basophils are seen in the blood as B for blood, whereas the mast cells are present in tissues. Like I said, they have similar functions, and their functions include the production of type 1 hypersensitivity. So they release, their granules release histamine, leukotrienes, and prostaglandins that produce very early vascular changes of acute inflammation. So the blood cells involved in acute inflammation are neutrophils, eosinophils, basophils, and mast cells. Remember that these are not just the only types of leukocytes. Leukocytes, we have the types of leukocytes that we have the lymphocytes, monocytes, basophils, neutrophils, eosinophils. But the ones I mentioned are the major blood cells that are involved in acute inflammation: neutrophils, eosinophils, basophils, and mast cells. The lymphocytes, monocytes or macrophage, plasma cells, they all appear late in inflammation and are important cells of chronic inflammation. So I'll talk about these other cells when I talk about chronic inflammation. But for now, I'm focused on the major cells that are involved in acute inflammation. So I'll stop here for today, guys. If you enjoyed this video, don't forget to give it a thumbs up. If you have any questions, contributions, or suggestions for me, just drop it in the comments section below. And please do ensure to subscribe to my channel and ring the bell icon so you don't miss my next video. Thank you so much, guys. Bye.